Good day, everyone. Good day, Miss. So, today we're gonna talk about the investment in associate and its other accounting issues. So, let's start with the intercompany transactions. These are transactions in the form of sale of goods and or services between the investor and the associate. So, ang laing pangalan sa associate is the investee. And, ano mang nainani siya ang forma. So, meaning, di ba naa sa taas ang investor? Meaning, ang investor is mas taas sa hierarchy between investor and associate. Nga naman mas taas ang investor? Kaya ang investor is considered to be part of the owner of an associate. So, nakanotice mo diri nga na ay upstream and also there is downstream. So, first, magsugod ta sa upstream. Anong gitawag siya upstream? Kay padung man siya taas. So, ang starting point is from the associate to the investor. So, bali, pataas siya mo siyang upstream. And then, sa downstream, nagsugod siya from investor to the associate. Bali, pa-downstream. Pa-down siya. Anong maka-affect man or asa maka-affect ang intercompany transaction sa investment in associate? So, intercompany transactions affect the computation of investment income. Because according to PAS 28, any profit resulting from the intercompany transaction shall be eliminated. So, ano man siyang i-eliminate? So, let's look at this formula. We are given first with the share in profit and loss. So, ana. And then, add or deduct effect of intercompany transactions. Muna siya. So, belong sa effect of intercompany transactions are the unrealized profit. This is the profit from the initial transaction. Deduct. Realized profit. Add. So, add or deduct na to ani from the share in profit or loss, we will get the investment income on the point of view of the investor. So, let's answer the question, ngano mang i-eliminate jud ang profit. So, i-eliminate jud ang profit kay di ba nag-sell si associate to investor. What do yung ngano nag-sell si associate to investor? Kay nag-assume ta sa upstream nga point of view. Upstream, so meaning pataas, bali si associate ang seller and then ang buyer kay si investor. So tarag ana. So pero bahalag lahi sila nga seller si associate and buyers, they are still treated as one person. So murag gabaligya ra ang associate sa iyang kaugalingon. So kung magbaligya ra ka sa imong kagalingon, nganong need pa man kag magtubo, di ba? We don't need profit. So no need na magbutang og tubo, mong i-deduct na to ang unrealized profit whether upstream or downstream. Okay? So in unrealized profit, malahi dyan na siya whether it is upstream or downstream. So pag-compute nato sa unrealized profit, when it is indicated nga upstream, of course, we have to multiply the amount by the percentage of ownership. Ngano man, diba si kay kuan manggod kani concept was patterned from the topic in Advanced in Financial Accounting and Reporting named the Consolidated Financial statements or the PFRS 10. Kay ang assumption sa intercompany transaction in consolidation kung kinsa ang namaligya mooy mo adjust. So sa upstream kinsay namaligya? Tag from the bottom to the top, di ba si associate ang namaligya. Pero kung downstream, si investor na ang namaligya to the associate. So bali, si investor na ang namaligya. So sa upstream, di ba, seller kay si associate. Ang unrealized profit, i-deduct na to sa net income ni associate and realized profit. However, nganong 100% man ang downstream? Of course, imo kayo from investor to seller ang namaligya, di ba, sa investor imong kagulingon. So no need na ka i-adjust. No need na ka mag-identify pila ang imuhang share ana nga ownership. Kay sa imuha naman na, dili man na nga gikan sa associate. So, ang net income nga i-adjust kay kang investor. Since ang investment income kay sulod naman sa investor's side. Moon ang no need to multiply it with the percentage of ownership. So, recognize unrealized profit and realized profit fully kung downstream. Remember that. If upstream, multiply it by the percentage of ownership in getting the unrealized profit. However, if it is downstream, no need na ka mag-multiply of percentage, kundi you have to realize it fully. Side naman ang sa investor side naman nga investment income ang kailangan i-adjust. So, kuha ta sa unrealized profit. However, unsaon pagkahibaw nga natay realized profit? Natay realized profit if there is a sale to third parties or depreciable property, plant and equipment to depreciation. I will give you an example. So, if ever natay unrealized nga 100,000 and then if it is indicated in the problem nga na ay remaining life of 10 years, so dili ba yan nato madahan o realize o like as a whole 10 years nga profit, diba? Then jud nato kay kailangan per year jud ba na. Example, we are using the straight line method. So the realized portion of the current year, unsa man nato pagkuha? We are going to compute 100,000 pesos divided by 10 years. So we will get 10,000 pesos as the realized for the current year. Okay? Gets na? Pero, unsa ni mo pagkahibaw pod nga naay unrealized profit or unsa nga part sa cost ang unrealized profit. So mag-example ta. Example, nag-sell si associate to the investor. Example, inventories. So, if ang selling price is 100,000 and then the true cost of inventories kay 80,000, we will get the unrealized of 20k. Okay? Kanang 20k ang unrealized, di ba ni anak ko ninyo sa past 28. And any profit resulting from the intercompany transaction shall be eliminated. Bali, ang kaning 20,000 mo na ang tubo nga kailangan i-eliminate mo nang diri sa atuang formula. It's either deduct or add sa effect of intercompany transaction. Pero specifically sa unrealized profit, deduct yun siya. Kabantay mo, according to past 28, any profit resulting from the intercompany transaction shall be eliminated. That is why unrealized profit is being deducted from the computation in getting the investment income for the investor. Let's proceed with the changes in owner percentage. So there are two ways with the changes in owner percentage. It can be increase or decrease. Let's start with the increase part in owner percentage. So increase in owner percentage is also called as the step acquisition. Investment in associate or significant influence was achieved through in stages or series of purchases. So ano siyang gitawag og step acquisition? Kay na-obtain or nakuha ang significant influence sa usa ka company through series of purchasing mga shares or stock. Inana na mo na siyang step acquisition kay step by step. Kay di ba we have ang minimum threshold to have a significant influence to an associate is 20%. So dili man na mahimo. There are instances nga di jud mahimo nga ilahos gyud og palit ang 20%. Kailangan step by step. Example, nagsugod kag 5% and then ipalit na pug kag 10%, so 15, and then ipalit na po kag 5% na 20. So, na kay significant influence to your associate. So, actually, nag-start, example, mag 10% taon na. So, dili pa ni siya ma-consider as past 28 or significant influence. PFRS 9 pa na siya. Or else it is called as the financial instrument. So, let's say, nipalit ko og 15% plus 15%, we get 25%. So, kaning 25%, diba na nakaabot naman siya sa minimum threshold of 20%, this will be already considered as na belong na siya sa past 28 or the past for investment in associate. Okay? So, in increasing of owner percentage, there are two ways. We have the fair value approach and the cost approach. So, let's start with the fair value approach. Fair value approach is considered as a PFRS approach based on PFRS 3. And for cost approach, non-PFRS siya approach and just adapted from the US GAAP. So in using the fair value approach, the measurement is being computed by adding the fair value of original investment plus the fair value of new investment. So in here, wala ratay problema. Kay fair value naman siya daan. And then, ang fair value of new investment is also considered as the cost of the new investment. And then sa cost approach, we have two ways. The first one is without catch-up adjustment, and the second one is with catch-up adjustment. So, unsay nakalahi sa duha? So, without catch-up adjustment, it is being applied prospectively. So, meaning, to the future, like to the future overview, dili siya pa backwards kundi pa forward. The measurement is cost of original investment plus cost of new investment. However, there is a catch-up adjustment retrospective iyang application. So, a measurement is original investment plus the cost of new investment. Kani diri na nagka-problema since we started retrospectively, bali from the previous year. Mo nang diri ang sa original investment nato, kailangan pa nato i-convert using the equity method before maka-proceed ta og add sa new investment. Let's say sa 10%. Let's say kaning 10% nato, kaning 10%. Mao na atong original investment. However, dili pa na siya mao since it is computed using the cost method. Mao na siya 10% and then inig equity nato, una pa ta maka-add sa cost of new investment. And then this adjustment will be reflected to the retained earnings beginning. Okay? Gets? Now let's proceed to the second type of change in owner percentage, which is the decrease. So, how does percentage in ownership decrease? So, naay duha ka paraan unsaon pag mubo or pag lower sa percentage. So, one is actual sale. Actual sale, like typical nga pamaligara sa imong share, pamaligara sa imong ownership, mora inana. Dili na ta magka-problema sa deemed sale. Deemed sale happens when an investor does not participate in the new issuances of corporation. Okay, pa mo unsay meaning sa participating in the new issuances? That's what we call preemptive right. Preemptive right mo na ang makapamintain sa usa ka shareholder sa iyahang influence o sa iyahang right sa usa ka company. So, ato ni mo tang example ha. Dali na lang. So, for deemed sale, let's say A, B, C, D. And then at first, naa sila si A na 60%, si B na 10%, si C na 20%, and D 10%, we get 100%. And then, ang equivalent amount ani is 60K, and then 10K, 20K, and 10K. Ideally, dahil ni amount ang number of shares ni guys ha. Number of shares. Over 100K, tanan. Yeah. Pagbalig unya ang corporation ni issue og new shares worth 20,000. So, wala man sila ni participate si A, B, and A, B, C, D. Wala sila ni participate, diba? Deemed sale nga ang happens when the shareholder does not participate into the new issuances of the corporation. So, wala man sila upat ni participate. So, naay usa or naay bag-o nga shareholder ni sulod. So, di ba naman to'y gibaligya nga 20K nga shares nga balik ta 60K gihapon kay man ni participate, so walay increase. Then 60K, 10K, 20K, 10k. Unya, na may 20k nga gi-issue bag-o si company. So, si E ang nipalit 20k. So, di ba ang previous total sa shares is 100,000. So, karon 120,000 na. 120,000 na. So, ini percentage na to ana, ang kang A, di na 60%. Di ba? Kay nga naman di man 60 ay di na 60%. Kay ang new total sa issued shares sa company is 120 naman. So, bali, 60k divided by D, we will get 50k. See? Na-decrease siya by 10%. So, meaning, DIMCEL can also decrease a shareholders owner's percentage. So, dire, unyang sa 10k or sa kang B, he will have 8.33% na lang po. From 10% to 8.33%. So, mo na concept sa DIMCEL. And then, there are two approaches involved sa pag-decrease. One is dilution, and the second one is cessation. So for dilution, it has a purpose of not resulting to loss of significant influence. So meaning bahalag unsa pa na giunsa pa na pagkamubo, basta ang purpose is to not decrease or di na palabian o pamaba ang percentage sa ownership below 20%. Kaya nago diri, not resulting to loss of significant influence. And remember, the minimum threshold of significant influence is 20%. So what to do with dilution? Continue the use of equity method. And unlike with cessation, it will result to loss of significant influence. So meaning, it can either be mamaba ang percentage of ownership below 20% or mawanan ang shares or ownership sa usa ka associate. So what to do? We discontinue the use of equity method. Next, how to compute gain or loss. So lahi-lahi ni ang dilution o ang cessation. So magsugod ta sa dilution. Awa mantay mo lahi ang pag-compute sa dilution o cessation. Pero mag-get ni natupuhan. So with dilution, we have to identify the net selling price first. So nga naman na ay gi-box nga color red because kaning color red nga box may use siya ni if ang pag-decrease sa ato ang ownership is through deemed sale. Okay? Magamit na ning proceeds from issuance times percentage of new investment if there is deemed sale. Pero if walay deemed sale, of course, you have to recognize it full amount. Kung pila ang net selling price, mo dyan na ang imuhang mo dyan na imong i-recognize. Less the carrying amount, and we will compute carrying amount by multiplying it from the result of percentage loss over the total percentage. Same man siya sa net selling price nga magamit ra ni kani nga formula if it is deemed sale. Pero if Y deem sale, of course, recognize the full amount. So, that's selling price minus carrying amount, gain or loss on dilution, kani. And then, for the portion of OCI or OCL recycled to profit or loss, it's either be deducted or added. And then the formula is share in OCI over OCL times the result of percentage loss over total percentage. Mura gyapon if deemed sales siya, kani mo rin gamiton. Or if di, of course, recognize the full amount. Either ani. So, we get the total gain or loss on dilution. So, mo ni siya ang dilution ng formula. Now, let's proceed with the cessation. Ang cessation na siya'y duha. The realized portion and the unrealized portion. The realized portion is the loss percentage or kanang imuhang nahalin or nabaligya. Ang unrealized portion is the retain or ang nahabilin or ang natira. So, in getting the realized portion, we will first identify, of course, the NSP. Actually, nalimot kong sulat ani, pero nalimot kong suwat ani, pero actually, ang NSP, ang CA, ang carrying amount, and the recycled OCI, same ra na sila og treatment with the dilution. Basta same, So, moto, akong giingon ganina, nga if deem sell, of course, gamito ning mga formula kani, and kani. So, net selling price minus the carrying amount, we get the gain or loss. And then, the gain or loss, pwede po na siya ma-treated as the realized gain or loss. And then, add or deduct the recycled OCI or OCL, we get the total realized gain or loss. Ano siya? And for sa nahibilin, of course, dili na siya net selling price, kundi the fair market value sa nahabilin. Okay? Less the carrying amount, dili na ni siya same sa dilution ha. So, paano ni siya? Pag-recognize na niya siya sa full amount. So, fair market value minus carrying amount, we get the unrealized gain or loss. And then, recycled OCI, we add or deduct, then we get the total unrealized gain or loss. So, wala pa na human diha. Kay we need to add the total realized gain or loss and the total unrealized gain or loss to get the total gain or loss on cessation. So, mo ni nakalahi sa dilution and cessation. Diba, dilution usara ka way, pero sa cessation, you have to compute the two ways before arriving to the total gain or loss on cessation. So, cessation is a little bit complicated than dilution. So now, let's proceed with the presentation and reporting. So, investment in associate shall be presented in the statement of financial position under the non-current asset. So, meaning, investment in associate is a non-current. Okay? Now, in past 28 or as we have known as the investment in associate new standard, we shall use the equity method. However, in using the equity method, we should present the most recent financial statements of the investee. The most recent. Nganong most recent ang kailangan nato? Since the recent data and information are the most reliable and relevant data that a company needed, since it can relate to the current situation a company is currently facing. Nasa dire napoy duha ka differences in terms of the reporting period and in terms of the accounting policy. Diri and diri. So, in difference in reporting period, this is between the financial statements of the investor and the investee. So, kung needed man gani sa investor ang data sa investee, it should not be more than 3 months. Meaning, dili malabaw or dili nang after more than 3 months ang data. Example, ang year end sa investor is December 31, 2024 and sa investee is February 28, 2025. So, usa may meaning ana? Of course, it is still relevant and reliable since it is indicated here it should not be more than 3 months. Unless nga ang kuan sa investee is April, dili na kay na labaw na mag 3 months. And then in terms of accounting policy, investee should adjust the necessary adjustment. Kay if investor uses FIFO as the inventory cost flow and investee uses the weighted average, of course, ang mag-adjust yun is the investee. Okay? Investee should also use FIFO throughout its reporting period. Kay dili siya maglailay or else it won't be reliable anymore. So that's all for my report, and thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.